Many years ago, in a quiet countryside town surrounded by rolling hills and dusty roads, lived an elderly woman in an old wooden house. The paint on the walls had faded with time, just like the laughter that once filled the place. She and her husband had spent decades working the land together, waking before sunrise, praying before meals, and falling asleep tired but grateful. They once owned orchards heavy with fruit, cattle that grazed freely, and fertile fields that provided enough not only for them, but for others as well. But time is powerful, and life rarely stays the same. After her husband passed away, silence became her closest companion. The house felt larger, colder. Age weighed heavily on her body. Her back ached constantly. Her knees cracked with every step, and her hands trembled whenever she tried to lift something heavy. Still, she refused to complain. Hard work had taught her endurance. Her son and daughter-in-law lived with her. In the beginning, they promised to care for her. They smiled, spoke kindly, and assured neighbors that she was lucky to have them. But as months passed, their true nature slowly revealed itself. The daughter-in-law grew harsh and impatient, irritated by even the smallest requests. The son avoided responsibility, sleeping late and wasting his days, always claiming tomorrow would be different. The old woman continued to cook meals, sweep the floor, and tend the small garden despite her pain. At night, she often sat alone, remembering the days when her husband would hum softly while sharpening tools. Those memories kept her going. One cold night, as rain tapped against the roof, the old woman lay awake. From the next room, she heard whispered voices. "We're barely surviving," the son muttered. "She eats, she lives here, and she gives nothing," the daughter-in-law replied bitterly. "She's old. What use is she now?" Their words cut deeper than any wound. The next morning, she stepped outside to fetch water and froze. Her belongings were scattered across the muddy ground. Old dresses, blankets stitched by her own hands, shoes worn thin by years of walking. Her daughter-in-law stood nearby, arms crossed, her face hard as stone. "You need to leave today," she said flatly. The old woman's lips trembled. "This house, this land, it belongs to me," she whispered. No answer came. The door closed slowly but firmly in her face. She sat on the steps until evening, watching shadows stretch across the yard. Tears fell, not just for herself, but for the child she once held in her arms, who now showed no mercy. Yet even in despair, her mind remained sharp. She remembered something they had forgotten. Years ago, during better times, she and her husband had saved small amounts of money whenever they could. Not trusting banks, they hid it carefully. Beneath an old fig tree behind the barn, buried inside a clay jar, lay the fruit of their patience. That night, under the cover of darkness, she dug with trembling hands. When she uncovered the jar, she pressed it to her chest. It wasn't just money, it was freedom. With nothing but her strength and dignity, she walked to the next town. Her feet blistered, her breath grew heavy, but she didn't stop. A humble farming family recognized her from years ago, when she had once shared corn during a drought. They welcomed her warmly, offering soup, tea, and a quiet place to rest. The next morning, she asked about land. A small plot lay at the edge of town, rocky, forgotten, but full of potential. She bought it. Neighbors helped her build a simple wooden home. It wasn't grand, but it was hers. She planted vegetables, raised goats, and woke each day with purpose. Her body still hurt, but her spirit felt lighter than it had in years. A teenage boy from a nearby house often came to help. He repaired fences, fetched water, and listened to her stories with respect. He never asked for payment. To him, kindness was enough. Meanwhile, the daughter and son-in-law fell deeper into misery. They refused to work, blamed each other for their failures, and watched their house crumble. Hunger became a frequent guest. Still, pride blinded them. One desperate day, the son traveled far looking for work. When he reached a large, beautiful farm and knocked on the door, his heart stopped. She stood there. "I need work," he whispered, ashamed. She hired him, with one condition. "Do not tell my daughter this land is mine." He agreed. She treated him fairly, never cruelly. Sometimes she asked softly, "How is my daughter?" "She is fine," he lied. Curiosity eventually pulled the daughter there. When she saw the farm and her mother, rage exploded inside her. "You lived in comfort while I suffered," she screamed. "When you are done shouting," the old woman replied calmly, "then speak." The daughter demanded everything. The old woman handed her a few coins and closed the door. Time passed. The couple wasted what little they had. They sold their old home, believing they would inherit this farm. But the old woman had already written her will. Her land would go to the boy who showed kindness when she had nothing. When she passed away, the village honored her. The truth came out. The farm belonged to the boy. The couple left in shame, never to be seen again. So remember this: even when others cast you aside, you can rise again. Your worth is not decided by cruelty. Kindness builds. Greed destroys. Choose dignity. Choose strength. And always walk your own path forward.